Hello, welcome to the Leaders Brief by Ego Monk. Today we'll discuss India's entry into the COVID-19 vaccine race, rising tensions between India and China, and an increase in the employment rates in the United States of America.
And in that, the final battle that shall be won will be won with the help of science and technology. With the help of vaccines, in a way that nobody can be affected by corona. And with the help of medicines, in case they're infected, they can be cured.
That was Dr. V.K. Paul, member of the National Institution for Transforming India. India seems to have entered the race to create a vaccine for COVID-19, promising to launch the first batch as early as August 15th, the Indian Independence Day. The Indian Council of Medical Research has partnered with Hyderabad-based Bharat Biotech and is developing Covaxin, a vaccine that could be ready for public use by August. The ICMR also announced that they would be conducting clinical trials for the vaccine in 12 institutes across the country. These institutes have been asked to fast-track trials and treat it as one of the top priority projects being monitored at the topmost level of the government. The Drug Controller General of India has also approved pharmaceutical firm Zydus Cadila to start Phase 1 and Phase 2 human clinical trials of its COVID-19 vaccine. The novel coronavirus discovered in China in 2019 is yet to have a complete cure. Of the several drugs tested by doctors, a tablet called Remdesivir has found the most popular usage. Hydroxychloroquine, used to treat malaria, had initially promised results, but after several trials, HCQ was deemed ineffective by the World Health Organization. This is what WHO Chief Scientist Dr. Soumya Swaminathan had to say.
So, our expert group looked at a huge range of drugs and recommended 4 or 5 of them which are worth testing in clinical trials. And that's how the Solidarity trial had 4 arms. So it had hydroxychloroquine, it had remdesivir, lopinavir-ritonavir combination as anti-HIV drug, and also lopinavir-ritonavir with interferon 1 beta. This trial started at the end of March and so far has recruited about 4,500 patients. I think it's an incredible accomplishment to have launched a trial in 20 countries at hundreds of hospitals. There were many other trials, of course, going on, also using hydroxychloroquine and others. Especially the largest trial is the UK's recovery trial, which till now has enrolled 11,000 patients. So what happened is the recovery trial actually looked at their data. They did an interim data analysis, and their data safety monitoring board suggested that there is no benefit because they had enrolled enough numbers to be able to analyze hydroxychloroquine versus those who had standard of care.
Under severe criticism from the world, China, almost as if in competition with the United States, is also edging towards the release of a vaccine for the novel coronavirus. While US President Donald Trump hopes that his administration's vaccine acceleration program, Operation Warp Speed, will yield positive results by the end of this year, the Chinese government has already approved a vaccine developed by CanSino Biologics and the Beijing Institute of Biotechnology in the Academy of Military Medical Sciences for a year-long military trial. However, it will be a while before the quality and the effectiveness of the vaccine can be determined. After engaging in a trade war with the US for the last couple of years, recent Chinese aggression at the Indo-China border at Ladakh is creating ripples on trade relations, with some parliamentarians going to the extent of asking for a ban on Chinese food.
It is my belief that these Chinese restaurants that exist today, all of such restaurants should be banned, and those who are running such Chinese restaurants should close it. It is also my request to those who consume Chinese food that in such a time where China has killed 20 of our soldiers, have insulted our country, have trespassed our border, such a country should be condemned. It is my earnest request to all people that please do not consume any form of Chinese food.
Indian Union Minister Ramdas Athawale had announced. As tensions between the two Asian giants remain high, the Indian government has placed a ban on the use of 59 mobile applications that include the video sharing platform TikTok. China accounted for 14% of India's total imports in 2019 to 2020, with India exporting a total of 5% of its goods to China. A decrease in demand caused by skirmishes at the Indo-China border, leading to the death of 20 Indian soldiers, is likely to help balance the high trade deficit that India presently faces with China. But the situation, coupled with a slowing retail income for traders due to the pandemic, is creating trouble for business owners dependent on Chinese products for their livelihoods. The recent ban is being seen as an initial step to what may escalate into a full-fledged trade war between India and China. However, any immediate retaliatory trade measures are unlikely due to India's dependency on China in key sectors such as telecom and construction. Chinese investors also make up for a majority of stakeholders in India's leading startups such as Paytm, Ola, Zomato, and Swiggy. The Indian ban does create space for local firms to step up development and manufacturing, and the Narendra Modi-led cabinet's Vocal for Local campaign may provide an immediate boost to Indian firms.
Friends, the COVID crisis has taught us the value of local manufacturing, of local markets, of local supply chains. In such a time of crisis, it was local things that have fulfilled our demands, and we were saved by local products.
हमारी डिमांड पूरी की है, हमें इस लोकल ने ही बचाया है.
Local is not just a necessity, but it is also a responsibility.
This was Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi asking the nation to support local manufacturing. The Indian ban does create space for local firms to step up development and manufacturing, and the Narendra Modi-led cabinet's Vocal for Local campaign may provide an immediate boost to Indian firms. Following the pandemic, the Indian government has been heading towards protectionist measures, vying a local production boost to decrease dependency on imports. The future will likely see the creation and implementation of Indian policies that favor local manufacturing and MSMEs. The government hopes that such measures would also better employment rates in the country. Talking about employment, the Donald Trump administration announced that American employment increased by 4.8 million in June. The US president, who is coming towards the end of his term, sounded ecstatic with the numbers.
I'd like to just announce the spectacular news for American workers and American families and for our country as a whole. There's not been anything like this, record-setting. It was just put out that the United States economy added almost 5 million jobs in the month of June, shattering all expectations. I was watching this morning and the expectations were much lower than that. The stock market is doing extremely well, which means to me jobs. That's what it means, jobs.
However, analysts caution that the spike may fall short of repairing damages caused by COVID-19. The pandemic had caused the jobs of almost 20 million people and continues to threaten several businesses in the US. Data released by the US Labor Department showed that 1.4 million fresh claims were filed for state unemployment benefits in the last week of June, with another 800,000 applications seeking benefits under the Federal Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program. The future of employment in the US and other parts of the world are now heavily dependent on the hopes for a COVID vaccine. As numbers of infected continue to increase, fear is keeping several indoors and choosing to stay out of work. The pandemic is also causing several businesses to remain shut due to the preventive measures enforced by their governments. With the drop in demand, operational costs are becoming unmanageable and more layoffs are expected in the future. Thank you for listening. Tune in to EgoMonk to stay updated on latest happenings and their impact on global trade, technology, and innovation. EgoMonk helps you make sense of change. We are a global intelligence platform delivering asymmetric outcomes by bringing organizations closer to the communities they want to serve and the leaders they wish to influence. Visit our website insights.egomonk.com, which is spelled insights.egomonk.com, to subscribe and make better and faster decisions today. If you wish to collaborate with us, then please email us at contact@egomonk.com.